Hello and welcome to Going Over Our Freds, the internet's podcast.
The only one.
The only one. As always, I am Kennedy, and across from me is
Meredith.
we are close to the end of our Fredel and Ray as a producer season, and I think we're scraping the top of the barrel now. We picked a movie. I checked, I think it has 37 logs on Letterboxd.
Okay.
I think there's probably more people that made the movie than have watched the movie. So what did we watch? What did we watch this week, Mayor?
We watched Maggots, the 2017 film.
Yeah, there is also a 2019 movie called Maggots that is also about 75 minutes long, like this one is. But
Yeah.
we watched the 2017 one for those who are following along at
Yeah.
home
Yeah.
and want to pay the $2 to rent Maggots on Amazon Prime.
This movie really, really happened.
It was a movie, kind of. So this movie opens up with one of your favorite things I know. It's not a title crawl, not narration, but like, words on the screen. What's the words we're looking for here for that? Words on the screen. Because it's not crawling like Star Wars. It's just boom, 3 pages of prologue that have absolutely nothing to do with anything. Now, did you write these down? Because
Yes, I
these
did.
are amazing.
It's, and I got so angry because it was a substantive backstory and I thought it would matter.
I got angry because it was like it was written by a pretentious 11-year-old who just learned what whom was and decided to use it inappropriately. Okay, would you like to read this prologue?
Yeah.
Because I think this is necessary at this venture.
All right. During the War of the Galaxies of 1920 AD, a catastrophic event descended down upon humanity.
Okay, stop you right there. First off, this is the first line. We have to specify 1920 AD
Hmm.
because, 1920 BCE is going to be something else.
Hmm.
And a catastrophic event descended down
Comma, upon humanity.
upon humanity. So first off, comma's unnecessary.
Correct.
Descending already implies down. It's just as an editor, I've got notes. Already one line in, I've got notes. But keep on going, keep on going.
Slimy alien creatures roamed the lands and devoured almost every living being on the planet, quickly acquiring favored taste for human flesh.
Quickly acquiring favored taste for human flesh. That almost makes sense, but like that's not how words work.
No,
And also, I would like to note that they spelled favored in the British style
they did.
for no reason. Well, actually, the reason is they had spell check on and didn't bother to edit. So spell check was like, well, that's the British spelling. That's fine.
Yes.
They quickly developed, yeah. So they
Yeah.
ate everything.
Hmm.
Worms came down, end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Page two.
The only humans safe were those of whom had the resources to bury themselves underground in fortified bunkers.
Because you know how in the 1920s, people had all these fortified bunkers.
Oh, yeah.
And also, here is our first instance of were those of whom. No, that's just a who. Just say who there.
Correct.
What are you doing? And it's not like bad enough to be funny. It's just bad enough to be frustrating because a lot of this kind of rides the line of like, is it trying to be funny? But that's this entire
Uh,
movie. But
yeah, 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 yeah. The one government agency to survive was that of the Central Intelligence Agency, parentheses CIA, secretly known as Corporate Interest Association.
hmm. Okay, so we were getting an anti-corporate message
Yep.
despite this taking place in the 1920s, where it's more like Standard Oil monopolies and stuff
Mhm,
like
mhm.
that. When was the CIA started? Do we even call it the CIA in the 1920s?
It was started after World War II.
Oh, okay. So we didn't even have a CIA in the 1920s.
That's correct. It started as OSS, which I forget what that stands for right now. During the war, they were doing like spy stuff, and that evolved into the CIA sometime in the early 50s.
Oh, okay, okay. It's like
Mhm.
how we didn't used to have shields until several years after World War II.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Also, this never shows up in the plot of the movie.
Well, that's not important. We got backstory here.
All right. At the directive from the CIA, mankind was again reborn and rightfully populated the planet.
Okay, so again reborn. You know, that implies that this is a cyclical thing. It's like this is the second time they were eaten by maggots, so they were reborn again. Just say again born or reborn.
Yes.
Redundant. Red.
Yes.
I gotta get my red pen out for this. All
Well,
right, now here we are on page 3, the longest of the prologue pages.
knowledge of the War of the Galaxies was suppressed, and the new people of Earth had no idea of the incident of which had previously wiped out most of humanity.
The War of the Galaxies, which is wait, I thought like monsters just came to Earth. Is that a War of the Galaxies? Is there? I don't know what they're implying here.
Right.
And then new people in caps for some reason
Hmm.
uh have no idea of the incident of which had previously what do you remember in Living Color where the prisoner would just start using all these $5 words inappropriately?
Yeah, it's definitely somebody who has heard words.
Yeah, someone who's vaguely familiar with words.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we're almost there. Two more paragraphs to go.
Along with the suppression of the earlier events was the fact that the CIA had incubated the dangerous larvae in a lab on Earth and sent them into space to battle OLFs, other life forms.
Okay, so the monsters are on Earth, except we also sent them to space so
Hmm.
they could battle other life forms,
Yes,
which we don't know anything about in this movie.
right.
And we invented the initialism ULFs or the acronym ULFs,
Well,
or maybe it's
yeah.
OLFs and it's an initialism. Okay, this is this is really setting up a cinematic universe. I feel like maybe we have to watch all 15 of this director's movies.
The agency's plan backfired, and the lab mutations, known as maggots, descended back to the Earth on a meteor. The smell of human is in the air.
Okay, so not only so we have the alien monster, but now the alien monster is mutated. Uh, I
And I just don't think that, like, if humanity was almost nearly wiped out in the 1920s, that humanity would have gained spacefaring abilities by 2017, which is when this movie came out.
maybe it's a parody of QAnon. I don't know what's happening here, but anyone who's ever, thrown a surprise party for 15 people knows that you can't get 10 people to keep a secret. So,
I was willing to just take this all with a grain of salt. Like you got to get a movie going somehow. Okay, this is the story. But then to have the characters living in a world that is exactly like our
yeah,
current world. Cell phones are the same, fashion trends are the same.
with all this backstory, you expect like a guy to come down with a bunch of like electronics strapped to his arms, kind of like an alienator, like Ross Hagen shows up in Alienator. This is just, and I hesitate to use the word just because this is one of my favorite genre of movies. This is just a rubber puppet monster movie,
That's
and we
what
don't
it
need
is.
any of this. Like,
Right. It was
but
so unnecessary. I
but
wrote the
I
whole thing down.
but I love a rubber puppet monster movie. So I kind of enjoyed this movie still.
Hmm. Hmm.
So anyway, so yeah, that's how Maggots starts. Again, this has 36 logs on Letterboxd, and the only review I remember seeing of it was just a review that said, "I'm not high enough for this." So, but yeah, this is our director, Bob Bragg, who's made a couple of like softcore porn and Bigfoot movies.
Okay.
That's like basically what he's doing here. But he is a retired stuntman,
Hmm.
and how he's kind of like connected into the whole Fred Olen Ray world is that he was a stuntman for Critical Mass, which we watched, Nuclear
Oh.
Hurricane, which we watched, Alienator, which we've watched. And he's also done some non-Fred Olen Ray movies. He did some stunt work on Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. That's
Mhm.
where Jason fights Carrie,
Mhm.
a movie that you and I can't stop talking about, Hard Rock Zombies. He also worked on The Beaver Gets a Boner, which is a short film, but that was the student film made by Michael Lehman, who
Mhm.
went on to direct Heathers and A Hudson Hawk and all of these
Oh,
like kind of culty movies. And of course, Leprechaun 2. Yeah, I think I looked through his IMDb very quickly just to see if I had seen any of Bob Bragg's like directing efforts. and most of them are like this, sitting at about like 2.5 stars out of 10 on IMDb. But his highest rated movie is a movie called Aliens on Crack, which was co-written by Donald G. Jackson, who is, of course, the creator of Hell Comes to Frogtown, the Roddy Piper classic.
Amazing.
Yeah, so basically what happens here is that we've got a stuntman who is kind of vaguely connected to this Fred Olen Ray movie or movie world. One of our actors is similar, is like also did some stunt work and some PA work. We'll get to him later, but yeah, he was like a PA on not Critical Mass, but one of the other ones that was directed by Jim Wynorski that also uses recycled DVD footage for a direct-to-DVD movie
Mhm.
and of course stars Treat Williams, R.I.P. But anyway, let's get back to the proper movie because we haven't even started a shot of
No.
the movie yet, just the titles.
All right, so this movie opens with campers in the Pacific Northwest. Some of them spot a
They're
meteor
in the Pacific
falling.
Northwest. I didn't even catch that.
Well, I thought they were.
I
It
don't know. I
just
just kind of it felt
gave.
Southern fried. I don't know.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I have no idea.
They were in the woods.
They were in the woods. Yeah, they're hillbillies, regardless of where they live.
All of this stuff is happening in the woods. Some of them spot a falling star.
They spot a falling star, even though it is the middle of the day,
Yep.
because
And
that happens all the time.
and that is evidently the meteor descending down. And immediately they start getting picked off one by large hand puppets that dart across the bottom of the screen.
And they all kind of speak somewhere between Alvin and the Chipmunk voices and
Mhm.
Jackalope voices. There's a the entire time. But they speak English, though. Don't worry. The
They're
maggots
they're
speak
very
English.
chatty. Okay, so we see, I think, in close succession about four campers that are killed, and they've got like really jaunty music playing throughout. So that's what tells me this is supposed to be a comedy.
Okay, so yeah, we have like a weird kind of grunge song
Mhm.
when the meteor crashes, but then most of the movie is kind of generic surf rock.
Yeah.
And we do play Elvis songs on th at least three occasions in this movie too. But I don't know if they're just playing enough to not pay for the copyright. Like they play like 7 seconds, like just the Spotify preview, and then we're like, oh, nope, 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 no more.
Yeah, is Elvis's estate really looking for movies of this grade for infringement?
I think they're probably doing the like old school Taiwan movie thing of like, by the time they see it, we'll be done with this movie.
Yeah. All right, so we have this extended kind of scene, just like people getting killed left and right, and then the opening credits come. I wasn't really expecting opening credits by the time that they came. I'd forgotten that we hadn't seen any.
Well, and it's like they do some opening credits, they do some more scenes, and then they
Mhm.
do some more opening credits too. The movie wants to hook you, I guess.
Now we start to meet what will be our main cast. Shed Loner is our first person. He is working alone in a tool shed in the woods.
Yeah, his name is Rance. If you go to IMDb, only about half of the characters are named,
Yeah.
and half of them aren't even in IMDb at all. Like I took a screenshot of the cast and the credits so I could kind of match up who these people are. It doesn't
Oh,
matter
okay.
at all because like no one in this movie has been in anything you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
But that is Rance, and he has a dog. That's his character.
Mm-hmm.
And we cut to like a scene of a maggot stalking him and his dog. Then
Mm-hmm.
we do a hard cut away to something else.
Yep.
Then we cut to a very similar scene of a maggot stalking him and his dog and almost eating them. And then we hard cut away to something else. And then we do that another time.
Yeah.
And eventually the dog gets eaten. And, it's just
Yeah.
like, Peggy Sue, Peggy Sue. The dog's name is Peggy Sue. But like, yeah, it's just mostly this guy named Brance who spends the entire time fixing a tractor
Yeah.
and talking to himself, including talking about how like, oh, that dog's barking again. Oh, that's okay. She's a good old dog. Yeah, Peggy Sue, she's a good old dog. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That it'll be like a maggot in the background and then just hard cut away.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fascinating. It is a fascinating film.
That's a word.
Yeah, yeah. Then it cuts to more credits after that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm. Well, we also meet a gaggle of teens.
are they teens?
I literally wrote a gaggle of teens question mark the entire time I referenced this group. I think that many of them are supposed to be wayward teenagers on a skill building trip with that one older guy.
Yeah, but the older guy is basically their age too. They feel like they're in like a scared straight program or
I
something. I
think
don't
so,
really
yeah.
know. They feel like
Yeah.
they're being rehabbed. We have Dollar Store Reese Witherspoon, who's kind of our lead. We have Goth Girl with terrible skin,
Hmm.
male lesbian. Like tank top guy just has like he looks lesbian to me. He looks like Shane from the L word kind of.
Okay,
I don't know.
okay.
We've got Rockabilly Property Brother,
Hmm.
who doesn't really seem to have much of a character. He just has dark hair and like kind of rockabilly style. And then we've got the horny counselor who's in charge of all of them for some reason,
Yeah,
and who also like plays the guitar. Yeah.
lame. Anyway, his character is supposed to be lame, and it is lame.
And also we have maggots who are running around saying things like, "Death will everything we will destroy." They're just constantly announcing their plans to everybody. So
I think though that that's just for the audience to hear. I don't think that it's audible to any
do,
of our characters.
do you think that's their inner monologue? We're hearing their inner monologue
Yeah, I
like
think that we are. Yeah.
so like a talking dog movie. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. We also have a man and woman from the university up north.
Yeah, they
They,
didn't even specify, just make up a name.
the university. It's up north.
Yeah, it's Heath is the guy. That's our retired stuntman right there. He was like
Yeah.
our PA for other Fred Olin Ray things, or Fred Olin Ray produced things, not even Fred Olin Ray directed things. And lady whose name she gives her name to the waitress. There's like a motel slash diner in this one. You thought diner slash bar was something else, but this one has motel slash bar
Yeah.
slash diner. And it doesn't even need to be a hotel because they never actually use it as a hotel.
No, they do not. I
Yeah.
guess it's a reason for them all to be there.
Yeah,
They
I
it is a
guess.
central location. But okay, so in addition to the university couple, who are not a romantic couple, they're just on this trip, there is a forest ranger, I think.
Oh yeah, like a
Mhm.
big guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, we also meet a gas station attendant.
He's like
Mhm.
like a general store guy.
Yes.
And his wife, who is also a waitress at the diner, but
Yes.
not the owner of the motel slash diner.
Correct. There are at least two people who work at that diner.
Yeah. And the one that runs the place is named Danny. I remember that.
Okay. I didn't catch anybody's name. One of the things that is notable about this movie is that the sound quality is terrible.
Oh, yeah. It's like this entire movie was just shot with the onboard mic.
Yeah.
Like there's no booms, there's no like I was gonna say Langolier mic. That is not the right word. Lavalier.
Lavalier.
Which is funny though, because they do have like they keep the score going at all times, even when it's completely inappropriate. So
Hmm.
like you can't understand the dialogue, but all of a sudden there'll be like this classical orchestral piece playing that cuts off suddenly, and then there's some rockabilly music playing, and then that cuts off suddenly, and then they start playing Heartbreak Hotel, and you're
Yeah.
like, how do they get the rights to Heartbreak Hotel? Oh, nope, we're gonna cut that off. It's weird as hell. My favorite part of this though is so our five quote unquote teenagers are sitting in the diner. Everyone is at the diner at the same point, and there is like this dramatic moment where our two university folks are talking to Motel Danny owner lady
Yeah.
about the shooting star or something like that, and a
Hmm.
huge orchestral score starts playing. And then it cuts over to our teenagers just sitting in the booth doing nothing. And then that's the end of the scene. No notes. Perfect. This is a mind melter movie right here.
So the folks from the university, they want to find that meteor. They engage the ranger to be their guide because evidently it fell in some sort of remote area. So they head out there. They ultimately find the meteor. The teens go to the gas station convenience store and they steal a bottle of Fireball, I guess. And they meet the gas station attendant.
Rum,
Um,
151 rum, not Fireball. That's a very important.
oh, okay. All right. Yeah. 151
Yeah,
around.
And their
Great.
very clever plan to distract the store owner is to have the one of the women take her shirt off. She's just
Which
like, "Hey,
works.
do you like this bra?" That might be the line. It's something like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. The shed loner, whose dog just got eaten, rushes to the diner and is screaming about monsters eating his dog. And of course, nobody believes him. He's acting as the harbinger for these other groups. Notably, the gaggle of teens completely disbelieve this guy, and they head out to their camping site. Their whole deal is they're going to go camping and learn how to be law-abiding children in the woods or something. It doesn't matter. The
Yes.
maggots are stalking them the entire time. You get this like point of view cam, which is a bunch of hexagons, like really small hexagons. So it's not like a bee or a
Yeah,
fly cam.
but it's also fisheye too. So
Yes.
it's a slightly better version of what we got from the Amityville Death House point of view,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
shocking that something is like this is better than anything else. But
Yeah.
and it's here where you start to notice like how big are the maggots? Because
hmm
I mean it's kind of a plot point, but
hmm
like usually it's just like some guy with a rubber puppet over his arm that looks
Yeah.
like a pink sock, except with foam latex instead. But like when Shed Guy goes into the diner, he's like, the maggot was the size of my truck. It was huge.
That's what he said.
And we're never quite sure whether the maggots are actually big or if it's supposed to be forced perspective or if it's just in the foreground of any shot. So and like they're all different sizes throughout this entire movie and I know they're getting bigger, but it's very confusing.
Yes, it is confusing because when they find the meteorite, there's a bunch of like really small ones in the meteorite, which they don't
Yeah, they're
see.
like the size of actual maggots near the
Yeah,
meteorite.
yeah. But then, of course, the university group, so it's the man, the woman, and the ranger, are attacked by the larger maggot. So the ranger, he's dead. The woman, she's dead, and the stuntman gets away.
So the
Mhm.
ranger leaves them first. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
here." And then he goes to fish. So the ranger gets eaten kind of separately from them at
yeah, he
least.
does.
But then yeah, the maggots attack everyone. The woman dies right away.
Yeah.
So we kill off the black guy and the woman right away, which feels weird. But yeah, then our old stuntman manages to drive away.
hmm hmm
And then for some reason, the counselor kids
hmm
are all around a fire telling spooky stories.
Yeah,
And
and meanwhile, the shed loner is at the gas station. He's looking for a weapon to fight the maggots with.
oh yeah, he's looking for like insecticide or something like that. And he's
hmm
like, "Nope, that's not big enough. What about the CO2 tanks?" All of that leads to nothing, right?
Correct.
Before he left there too, his tractor wasn't working. And then when he came back, he was surprised that his tractor wasn't working. Like he didn't get anything to fix the tractor either.
Yes. Well, I mean, he's just so distracted and out of his mind with grief. His dog got eaten.
Do you think he was like lovers with the dog?
No, ew, no.
I think I think this might be implied backstory. You know, like how in Sunset Boulevard, Gloria Swanson was clearly having sex with that chimp at the chimp funeral at the beginning.
What?
Yeah, you never heard that story?
No.
Yeah, when Billy Wilder was shooting that scene, he was saying to the actor, he was like, "Now remember, you have had sex with this monkey." It's not actually in the movie, but
Okay.
that is like the backstory to Sunset Boulevard.
Oh my God.
That
Ew.
was a whole big rumor in the 50s is that there were Hollywood actresses that were teaching chimpanzees to perform cunnilingus on them,
Okay. Oh my
which
God.
seems like a horrible idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Right. Back to the campfire.
Back to the campfire.
The campfire is going and it's lit like it's nighttime. They have a campfire and they're telling stories at nighttime. And the goth girl tells the legend of Bloody Mary, and everybody's kind of spooked
Mhm.
when screams are heard. One of the, I think it was the counselor, he had stepped away to like go to the bathroom or something, and the man gets attacked.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know why the counselor wasn't there, but
Oh yeah, I thought
also
I just missed something.
yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck was going on. And it's funny because normally in these movies, the story that the person is telling at the campfire is somewhat related to the story that we're witnessing. sometimes it's usually too on the nose. This is just like, yeah, no, the Bloody Mary. Like,
Again, the entire human race was decimated in 1920s, and you still have the same urban legends?
well,
It just doesn't make sense.
And I kept on thinking, okay, well, it's Bloody Mary. These are leeches. They suck the blood. Nope, they're maggots. They don't suck the blood out of
Right.
anything. Like, that
Mhm.
would be cool if they sucked the
Yeah.
blood.
So the stunt guy, university man, he also hears the screams. So he's running towards the screams, and the rest of the teens are running towards the screams. And as soon as they leave the campfire, it's full daylight.
Yeah, it's daylight for 95% of this movie. Like, this movie refuses to take place at night. Like,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
bright daylight for most of the film.
It was just weird.
Yeah, and then the goth girl takes a rubber puppet right to the stomach. So she gets to die slowly in the back of, that guy's Chevy Trailblazer or whatever the heck he's driving. But we got a lot of shots of them in the car throughout this entire like second
Yeah.
half of the movie. This movie is again 71 minutes long. So we're already in the back half of the movie, I believe. And he decides, let's go see Danny. And they're like, who's Danny? She's the lady that owns the motel slash hotel slash diner bar.
The only business in town.
Yeah. Uh, but okay, I'm just gonna mention this now. So we
Yeah.
have these horrible in the car shots
Yeah, yeah.
where uh it's just like a blue screen comp in the background.
Hmm.
So you'll see the background whizzing by as they're driving,
Hmm.
except the faces are all kind of wrong, like the wrong parts are kind of like matted out.
Hmm.
And the back window doesn't have any movement in it at all because it's kind of tinted a different color, so they didn't bother to throw any blue screen information back there. And at one point, I rewound and I checked this 3 times. The forest was going in the wrong direction. Like they were just driving backwards for 5 seconds in the movie.
Oh
And
my God.
yeah, that's I think that's more towards the end. But I was like, what the fuck? They just didn't care.
I didn't catch that. That's
This is,
incredible.
I mean, if you keep watching this movie, you will see. Uh, we should fill out the goofs page of this IMDb this movie's IMDb page because right now there is nothing on it. There's like one thing of trivia of like, this movie was shot or some I don't even know.
Hmm.
But there's no goofs, there's no connections, there's nothing listed. I don't know how many I have to okay, I'm gonna look up how many ratings it's had too. So this is very important to me right now, don't you know?
Okay, yeah.
And if you tap on most of the actors on the movie, it just says known for this. Yeah. So right now, this movie sits at 2.9 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
Hmm.
It has 89 ratings, which is
Wow.
it's more than double what it's got on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Uh, 2 images, and let's see. We have one critic review, which doesn't actually go through to anything. And then we have its one piece of trivia is shown at the Nevermore Film Festival on March 8th through 10th, 2019.
Okay.
That's our trivia is this movie was once in a theater.
Wow. Now, yeah,
Or,
you
the
should
Nevermore
fill it
Film
out.
Festival might also be a conference room with a TV in it, so who knows?
Yeah, you can't even, you don't know. I mean, we have an award-winning podcast.
I don't think we do.
Well, we're gonna make an award and grant it to ourselves, and then we will be an award-winning podcast.
I mean, we do get those little awards from Buzzsprout that say like, "Hey, you've recorded 25 podcasts." Ah.
That's right. But yeah, to your point, uh, you make things real in the world, and a TV in a room can be a film festival, just
Yeah.
like we are an award-winning podcast. Okay.
Fake
So
it till you make it.
Goth Girl is attacked. And we have Shed Loner. He's back home. He gets attacked by maggots, but he's armed with a pitchfork and spears one. So at first I'm like, oh, is he going to be our hero? Is he going to figure it out? But nay, a maggot gets him in the face, and he is
Yeah, and it's
dead.
like he's trying to like spear the maggot to prove to somebody that the maggots are real, but
Hmm.
there's nobody in the movie to prove it to. Like
Right.
there's no like cops or scientists or anything like that.
Yep.
Also, the Maggots kind of all look like Silky from Teen Titans.
Oh, okay.
Do you ever see like
No, I don't know.
Starfire has a little pet maggot named Silky?
Oh, does she?
Yeah, it's more a thing in Teen Titans Go, but
I mean, I know I'm familiar with the characters, but I was never a regular watcher of the shows.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Now we need some new characters in this movie because why not?
Sure.
We meet a man who is whittling a stick. Man whittling stick is eaten in one bite by a much larger maggot.
Next, we have Guy watching one of the director's Bigfoot movies in his house while his wife yells at him, right?
Yes, yeah, they're fighting, they're sniping at each other, and then he takes out a bag of trash where the maggots attack and eat him.
That was our scene. Him
Yep.
talking about how much he loves a Bigfoot movie, watching the Bigfoot movie. You know, if you ever saw Red Letter Media made a rubber puppet monster movie called Feeding Frenzy,
Okay.
probably I think before they even did the Plinkett reviews. It's pretty old. It's like 20 years old.
Mhm.
And they have a whole scene where they put on these terrible accents and basically do that scene, but like in a comedic way. And it's like this is a scene that's already like a parody, except
Mhm.
you're doing it kind of straight, but the movie is also goofy. So I'm never quite sure if I'm supposed to be laughing at this movie, and it's never trying to be funny enough that I resent it trying to make me laugh. But
Mhm.
it rides a weird line, is all I'm trying to say. But there is a Russian Dead Baby song in Feeding Frenzy that is a bop. So
Okay, well, we'll
yeah,
check that out. But back in Maggots, turns out the gas station attendant and his wife live at the motel
I guess.
because that's where they are in their private living space when they hear a strange thudding outside. So he goes to investigate, and while he is gone, the maggots kill his wife. So he comes back, witnesses her like last seconds. Meanwhile, the gaggle of teens and the university guy, they're driving, closer to the restaurant, but they're still on the road, and a maggot or two leaps onto the side of the car.
Oh
And
yeah.
right? And the only reason this is a problem for them is because they have the windows down.
What was probably hot. Yeah.
Yeah,
They did not
yeah.
bother to roll up the windows, so the maggot is. But we get a nice a shot of the car on the outside with a little
Mhm.
rubber puppet hanging out the
Yeah.
window.
But
Just
they do get to the restaurant. The gas station attendant has like he runs up to the vehicle he wants to get in and like drive away, but the maggots get him. And so the gaggle of teens they drive off, I think. Yeah, they try to drive off, and then the restaurant owner leaps in front of the vehicle. She's got a pistol, just like a little handgun, and she's shooting at the giant maggots, like the house-sized maggots, and this somehow dissuades the maggots somehow long enough for her to collect the gaggle of teens and the guy and then run with them to like her home. And she's like, it's safe there.
her home looks like a rural Airbnb. Like you
Mm.
ever stayed at one of those like big fancy cabins in like Gatlinburg or in like, Bar Harbor, Michigan or something like that.
Hmm.
They throw dying goth girl on the dining room table for
That's
some
right.
reason
Yep.
and watch her suffer for a while she is going for her Oscar nominated performance this entire time. She is playing this serious as a heart attack. Like I am in a real movie. This is my big break. And I love that. I love that for her. And then, yeah, it's still the middle of the day. So, oh, night's going to come soon.
Right.
And when it's nighttime, they all just sleep. And then they wake up and it's daytime again.
Yeah, there's no attacks during the night. It's just so odd. But in the
Uh,
morning, now all of the maggots are enormous.
somehow, yeah.
Obviously, the next step is to go on the attack with the pistol, a bow and arrow,
Uh-huh.
some old lumber, and good old-fashioned punching.
Danny, the motel owner,
Mhm.
says, we should try fire arrows. And everybody's like, this is the best idea anyone has ever had. It's, I have to think that this writer director grew up watching The Dukes of Hazzard
Hmm.
because I don't know by what season it was, but there was like a season of The Dukes of Hazzard where they they weren't allowed to have firearms because they were registered sex offenders. I don't know what the Duke
Okay.
boys were in trouble for, bootlegging probably. So they just had dynamite on bows and arrows and used all their problems with dynamite arrows. They solved all their problems that way,
Whoa. Oh my
and
God.
that really says what's happening. I really feel like that's what's going on here.
Got it. Yep. 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 These, to no one's surprise, these enormous maggots, there's no impact on them.
No, not at all.
They're also like have this endless ammo, like endless bullets for this tiny little handgun.
Yeah, I will
That's
say
not a
though, I do
ghost.
like how in this movie it does follow the drive-in rule of anyone can die at any time because I have
Yeah.
no idea who the main character is, and then just people are just dying constantly.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
really would have thought that the big forest ranger would have been important and lady scientist would have been important, but no.
They're not. And also now the restaurant owner and the university guy who had been brewing up a little bit of a romance and setting themselves up to be the last two standing, they are killed and eaten.
Yeah, but not before the university guy busts out some sweet kung fu moves against a giant maggot. Like he's literally doing like a spinning back kick. He looks like he's fighting like Napoleon Dynamite out there.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Just like it is the most ludicrous thing, and it rides that line of like, okay, at least half the people on the set knew this was funny. Did the actor realize this was funny? I don't know. I
Right.
hope not, but it was amazing. I loved it.
So now all we have, as far as survivors go, are three teens. Sort of a love triangle, but not really going on.
Yeah, we just kept the young white people alive. We've got yeah,
Yeah.
it's Rockabilly Property Brother, male lesbian, and Dollar Store Reese Witherspoon are our survivors. And
Hmm.
here's where the camera starts doing a weird glitch thing, where every once in a while it just like rewinds 2 seconds for no reason.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't think it was Amazon doing it too. It looked like it was intentional, but I don't know what the intent was.
Maybe it was Amazon because I don't recall that happening, but I also was taking notes, so I might have missed it.
Yeah.
All right. They're either running or they're grabbing weapons. The girl gets a bow and arrow. One of them picks up the sword somewhere. They've got the pistol, and they've got this bottle of 151 rum.
Yeah, yeah, they find a cache of weapons somewhere. I don't know why. I forget where the sword just the sword was just there.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
like
might have
one
been
goes
from
away for a while because they all had a fight, and then when he comes back, he has a sword. So it's just not
yeah.
explained. He just gets it from somewhere.
And I couldn't tell you now, did the store owner die with his wife or did he go see them and like get killed outside the door when they met them?
He fled right after his wife died and got to the car where all the teens and the university guy were driving up,
Oh,
and
okay.
he was killed just outside the car.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here is where our dollar store Reese Witherspoon keeps like 3 arrows in her boot and
Hmm.
keeps on pulling them from her boot and always has at least 1 arrow left. It's remarkable. It's video game logic. In fact, they even start playing video game music towards one of the final fights and just talking about how this is kind of like a video game now.
The maggots now spit fire.
Wait, they do?
Yes.
They were spitting fire?
Yes.
I thought they were shooting them with fire, but they were spitting fire? I don't remember
The
that.
maggots were had like like they weren't fire breathing, but they were
Uh-huh.
spitting like fireballs as part of their attack now.
Really?
Yes.
But our entire strategy was to use fire against them.
Right.
Because, spoiler alert, how the day is saved, the genius plan come up by our 3 heroes is to trick them into going to the gas station
Hmm.
and light the gas station on fire while they're still inside it.
Yeah.
But they walk away slowly as the gas station's exploding and therefore are okay.
Well, it's all about the swagger. As long as you've got enough swagger as
Yeah,
you're walking away, then you'll survive. But because that means you're the hero.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just jumped ahead to the ending, but we did skip a whole subplot that came out of nowhere and then was resolved because Lady was calling male lesbian a coward starting at the midpoint of the movie. for some reason because I think he wanted to drive away instead of, meeting up with the diner lady, or maybe he
Hmm.
wanted to abandon the goth girl. I don't really know why he was a coward.
Hmm.
And then he eventually like walks away from them, but then
Hmm.
comes back triumphantly with guns that he got from somewhere and starts shooting and saves them briefly
Hmm.
for a point.
Hmm.
That's what happened. That's the movie.
This was not an exciting movie.
I love this movie strategy though of
Yeah.
like instead of having a narrative or character arcs, what if stuff just kept on happening? Like it's just people going back and forth to the same locations,
Yeah.
doing the same things over and over again. And sometimes the maggots are the size of, I don't know, a pea, a piece of
Hmm.
macaroni. And
Hmm.
sometimes they're bigger than the Tremors monsters.
Yes.
And I don't know, I guess you can kind of kill them all. There's no like town around. There's no stakes aside from like, let's just see if we can survive this thing. Can you name any of the characters other than the fake names we gave them?
No, that was notable. I do recall that as the goth girl lay dying on the dining room table, like, some of the teens were finally calling each other by name, but I was like, it's too late. It's way too late.
Well,
This is like the last third of the movie. I'm not going to learn anybody's names right now.
okay, so I do have their names, and they
Mhm.
were all every time I heard the name, I was like, that is not an appropriate name for that aged character.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so like Christina is the main girl. That's
Okay.
fine. That's
Hmm.
that's people of all ages are named Christina. That's
Hmm.
fine. I want to say male lesbian. It might be the other one is named Larry,
Yeah.
which what's the youngest Larry you know? 65 years old. One of the other guys is named Chester. I don't even think I've ever met a Chester.
I knew a Chester in elementary school, so the youngest Chester I know would be about 43.
Heath was the old guy, which is kind of a younger name, but
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm.
Uh, Danny, yeah, DANI. I guess that's fine. That's the like that lady was kind of old. She
Yeah.
was our motelier.
Hmm.
Big Jim, that's fine. Rance, sure, that's a hillbilly name, right? I don't fucking know. And let's see. Oh, Edith. Edith was the name of the college lady.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember there was a whole scene. So they go to the bar to check into the motel,
Yeah.
and Danny hands them both envelopes
Hmm.
to like fill out this form, and it looks like the check pad you get for at a restaurant to like, you know, uh,
Yeah.
get your bill.
Yeah.
And they fill out the forms, and then they introduce themselves. Like she is the character that most clearly introduces herself, and she is dead 5 minutes later.
I really associate Edith with not even baby boomers. I think baby boomers are a little too young to be an Edith. So,
Yeah, I mean, you think like Edith Head,
yeah.
it's or Edith from Archie Bunker. That's like a Silent Generation name.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's the name I haven't heard in a long time.
Lights a cigarette.
All right, it's time to rate this movie.
Oof. Okay, yeah, I this movie left me speechless, so I don't know what I don't even know what I'm gonna rate this movie, honestly.
Well, let's start with quality slash production value.
Oh God. Okay. The puppets were cool. Uh, they had the worst After Effects blood splatter during all the attacks. It was just obvious, fake blood that came with the movie making program.
Hmm.
Uh, most of the scenes were shot with the onboard mic. They went to royaltyfreemusic.com and made that their score. But the cameras were great. Cameras are great now, right? Like it
Hmm.
was so sharp and in focus. Like, come on, let's hear it for that. So let's give it a 3.
Okay. Effort.
Fuck, I don't know, man. How about how about 4? Because like again, I gotta give it to Goth Girl for going for it. Like,
For writing on her performance.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure some people were trying really hard, but
Hmm.
like the flesh is weak.
Hmm. Hmm. Sense making.
I think 3 is fair. Would you say 3 is fair?
Yeah, yeah. I think it would. would have merited a higher rating had we not gotten all of that backstory.
If you had like even if you had something at the end to kind of bookend the backstory,
Mhm.
like you cut to somebody in a secret bunker saying like they've returned, and then set up for Maggots 2, Electric Maggot Lou, Maggot Harder.
Was this movie entertaining?
Uh, Honestly, kind of, yeah. I'm gonna say 6.5 because
All right.
like it's so short and stuff is just constantly assaulting you. And I might even want to go higher, but I'm kind of curving down because I know how much I love rubber puppet monsters.
Hmm.
Like I have written rubber puppet monster movies that have never gone anywhere, so like this guy's better than me at least with that. So,
Well,
uh
we should probably make your rubber puppet movie happen, Michael. It's obviously possible with the at least the in-house it was in-program blood splatter effects in a movie making program. Like
yeah, no, we're not using any CGI, no digital effects. Oh
you're
yeah,
gonna
so
need a blood
oh,
artist then.
blood, yeah, yeah.
You
Well,
need a Tom Savini.
we'll just get some corn syrup, some green dye, some red dye, some
Hmm.
cornstarch in there, and just
Hmm.
throw it at people. That's all we're gonna do. Oh, so the movie I was trying to think of before, this director, early on,
Hmm.
he made a movie called Fall Guy, the Jon Stewart story, which has nothing to do with anybody famous named Jon Stewart or the show The Fall Guy.
Okay.
But it was like basically the life story of Jon Stewart, a stuntman
Mm.
who I believe directed it. But this guy was involved somehow. But it was shot by Gary Graver, who was, of course, one of the few people to work with both Orson Welles and Ed Wood, and shot I think something like 70 movies for Fred Olen Ray,
Wow.
which is kind of like how that connects.
Yeah.
Also, in this Fall Guy, the Jon Stewart story, we had Ross Hagen, who we've already mentioned once in this podcast for being in the movie Alienator, and he was in The Shooter. I believe he might have been. I can't remember if he was in The Shooter or not. He was in a bunch of stuff. But William Smith was in The Shooter, and he was also in the Fall Guy movie. So, like, it's just kind of like this tangential Fred Olen Ray world that Fred Olen Ray will slap a producer credit on, which I think might just mean that in a case like this, maybe this just means that he will print out DVDs through his retro media company,
Hmm.
or at least be the hookup there. So that's yeah, but that's I have my Pepe Sylvia board ready to figure out how
Okay.
all these movies are actually connected to Fred Olen Ray because I don't think Fred Olen Ray was on set for this. So
All right. Any last notes before we move on?
well, my last note is it's time for a mailbag.
Yay! Mailbag.
Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me wanna wag my tail. When it comes, I wanna wail. Mail!
Very nice.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So first, we got a pitch for a podcast guest. I'm just going to read some of this because
Great.
this is surprisingly long. It's like, "Hi, Michael and Meredith. I really enjoyed your latest episode of on Amityville Death House. The witch cakes, capitalized, debate, and your take on Gen Z slag had me laughing. Still not sure I'll ever look at witch cake the same way. If ever there was a sentence written by AI, that was it." But anyway, this lady is a like a publicist or agent for authors, and she is pitching us Stephen Bernstein, who is a cinematographer who has worked on stuff like Water for Chocolate and White Chicks. And I mean, I would have him as a guest, but I don't think he wants to do this podcast, and he's not connected to Fred Olin Ray.
Right.
So I have not responded to this email at all. But uh, but yeah, since you're a devoted fan, if you're still listening to this a month from now, hook me up, and yeah, we can get this going. Then we've gotten mail before, but I've nothing I've never read any before. But
Mhm.
this is the first time that someone has used the fan mail option on the
Oh, on
podcast.
Buzzsprout?
Yeah, on Buzzsprout, where you can just click it and send the podcast a text.
Oh, wow.
And this is from someone in Rochester, New York,
Hmm.
who says, Hey, ML and Meredith, I am enjoying the podcast. I just started listening and I'm looking forward from episode 1, which won't take that long. We don't have that many shows, only
Right.
like 30. Uh, I am impressed with your dedication to the work of such a fine cinematic titan. As well, you should be. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to have a podcast about William Friedkin? Actually, no, that's a pretty good podcast that's related to our friend Mike. He's I think he's worked with them. But yeah, look at that. We've got mail. If
We
you want
certainly.
your letter read on the air, email us. What is it? What is our email?
Oh, something like going over our friends,
Yeah, going over our friends
probably.
at Gmail. I just closed the goddamn mail too. I could have just read the thing. We are professional podcasters, guys. Hold on. What does it say?
It's
Motherfucker.
like we have the like post credits thing that says our email.
Yeah, it
It's
also says
also
use our Twitter, and we don't use Twitter anymore.
oh right.
But yeah, just pretend it says Blue Sky instead of Twitter for the post credits thing.
We could
Going
we
over
could
our
record a new
Freds.
one.
Yeah, I was gonna maybe pay Jesse to do it, maybe for next season.
Okay.
Going over our Freds at gmail.com. Anyway, I think we'll do one more episode for this season,
Hmm.
probably.
Hmm.
And it'll be a super secret episode with a special guest we've had before, or maybe no guest at all. Who knows? Until next time, she's been Meredith,
And he's been Kennedy.
and keep watching your shoes. Everything we will destroy.
Going Over Our Freds was created and produced by us, Michael Kennedy and Meredith Halsey.
Our theme was composed and performed by Justin Nozick. Find more music for him at Bandcamp. Search for The Plague Physicians.
Artwork by Michael Kennedy. Special thanks to everyone who helped make the season possible, including the friends and family who let us watch these movies instead of this year's Academy Award nominees. And thank you for listening.
If you'd like to hear more from us, subscribe to Going Over Our Freds on your favorite podcast app. Follow us on Twitter at Goof Podcast, and find us on Instagram at Going Over Our Freds.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. For questions, comments, and complaints, email us at goingoverourfreds@gmail.com.
Thanks.